We must internalize the flatulation of the matter by transmitting the effervescence of the Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate the crux of my venereal infection. Now,
the Bill of Rights is talking about David. Because he's the king, king of kings. So if he don't come, when Christ came the first time, what did he say? I come as the son of who? David. I am in the name of my father. So if he come today, he would still come back on who? David, the son and the father. See, why? In Psalms 23, what did David say? God raised me up. He raised my spirit. He was dead and he raised my spirit. And he took my spirit and made me holy and set me on the right hand of him and named me for his name's sake.
So David said that's what he did?
Hey, that's what God done for Christ, for David. So,
hey, excuse me, which Bible translation is that, Elder?
Yeah, we say in Revelation.
Oh, how about you said Psalm 23 that
Psalm 23.
Which Bible translation? Which Bible translation?
Psalm 23 is Our Father prayers. If you say Our Father prayers, who do you say? Songs, David. Look it up, right? Psalm 23, and you're gonna see what did he say. And he telling you when God named him for his name's sake and rose him and put his enemies where? Under him. So when he come today, where his enemies be? He had none. Because everything was done after Christ in the name of his Father. So when we get the song, when we get to Revelation.
Psalms 23 what?
What it
says? Show me what scripture you're talking about.
Okay, look, when you say in all the fathers, right here, you just read, that's the whole Psalms 23. When you read the whole Psalms 23, you free.
What?
Lord, look.
Read it. Go ahead. Show me what you're talking about. Break it down for me so I understand what you mean.
When he's saying,
when he was saying
that
he was talking about David.
When he was talking about David, who songs is it from? David. So, right, the songs of David. So David saying to him what Christ had said to him. And God, and the Lord, the Lord is my shepherd, and I shall make me to lie down in green pastures. He restored my soul. I'm dead, so he restored my soul. So if he restored your soul, how can he restore your soul without taking your soul and bringing it to what? Into the top. When he restored, look, he restoring his soul. So if I have anything evil in that day, when he restored my soul, he will refresh me.
To be righteous.
And righteous. But he was dying when he was saying these things.
Well, what do you mean he was dying?
When David wrote these songs, when these songs were written, David was dying. He was in his dying days when God had came to him and told him he would not have to worry. Because remember when he said to him, you would not have to build it, Solomon would build a house? Because already David was already sick. He was already in that day of passing. So the angels that gave to him as the Holy Spirit and say these things unto him, and the things will come as a promise. For the promise was a seed. He said, no matter what I have followed, I have followed David. I took the David seed. That's the covering. When he took the seed from David and blew the holy breath and gave it to Mary, the angel, that's an attribute Gabriel, gave Mary the seed, and he said he would sit in his father's house. That's what he took from David when he laid David down in pasture.
Where does it show that the holy angel blew it to the seed, and then the seed.
The seed when he said,
Mary, where's all that at?
When he said unto act, when he said to this and to David the covering, is a promise. It's a promise. It's a promise. When he told him,
restores my soul and leadeth me into the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Right, that's what we all go through, right?
Right.
When the Most High raises us up, we all come back to
now,
righteousness.
hold up. But first you have to raise up one. First you have to raise up one before I raise up all. Because in this day, y'all, listen, but right, because at first, y'all never had one thing.
Can I raise up anybody if I'm not in righteousness?
No, you cannot. But
so
now,
we have to become righteous.
We have to become righteous. You're already
How
righteous.
do we get
now, hold
righteous?
up. You already righteous when you're born. We're righteous to be born. Because the only thing we was born into sin. We was born into sin. Because Cain still was living while Abel was dead. So when you was born into sin. We were born into sin. So we was born righteous because we was born by the hand of God, the Creator.
So our actions after being born is what makes us unrighteous.
Make us unrighteous.
So how do we become righteous after being born?
When we get reborn, when we purify ourselves in the baptizing order,
How do we do
and
that?
accepting this. And accepting Christ is baptism in the order of Christian.
I'm going to show you, this is what I see. We're going to go back to that so you can understand it. This is where I see righteousness right here. Chapter 6 and 25. It says,
And all shall be righteous.
and it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments.
Some of the
before Lord.
commandments?
Now hold up.
All these commandments.
Now hold on. All commandments, because the commandments had changed. When Moses went back and written the commandment, it had changed. Because God told him, now you're getting the Sabbath. We have to what?
Well, to understand the commandments, even if they were changed, these are the first 5 books are all the commandments.
Right.
But also the Bible has law, statutes, and commandments throughout
That's
the
right.
Bible,
Throughout the Bible. All
So it's
66.
so only
All
600 and
66.
something of them.
All
you mean the books?
66.
But it's 80
books.
of them. It's 80 of them.
But look, it's a little more too. It's a lot more than that. Because the first 26, they never counted.
So right now, to become righteous, we
Right
have to
now,
what?
right now,
Come
we
back
have
to
to.
following the law, statutes, and commandments.
But right now, to be righteous, you have to follow Christ. Because only commandments is right now, because he is living today. In the millennium. He's flesh today. He's not an imagination, he's not a figure. So we have to look out and find out what is Christ and who is Christ. And this day, because we searching around, we still prophesize about the past. But we are not in the millennium and listening and looking for Christ, because now I said to them after that, I said, well, God came to you one time and he took you out of Egypt. And when he took you out of Egypt, y'all turned your back on him. And then the second time he came in flesh and he gave his son and y'all turned his back on him today, that day. Now today, if he come to you, how you know he was Christ, how you believe in him when he said he is Christ today, who would turn his back? Who all y'all referencing, all y'all here preaching, all here praying, he said he's Christ, how you would believe?
That's a good question.
And that's the whole.
How would you?
How? Because I know him.
How do you know?
Go play out tomorrow morning.
I am David. Smith is
said-
an institution.
When we think about that, or how do we know him?
Look,
This is what I think about. Let me show you. Let me show you. This is what I think about when I say I know him. Here it says here. Let's read that one. This is how we know that we know him, right? Because this is what it says. Let's see. It says right here. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that saith I know him, not his commandments is a liar. Truth is not in him. But whosoever keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God. Hereby we know that we serve him. He that saith he abideth in him, if you say you abide in him, right?
Wait.
Ought himself also to walk, even as Christ walked. So that's how we know that we know him, when we're following the law, statutes, and commandments of God. So you can't know him if we don't
But I
follow
said
him.
now, I said the physical. Now hold up, everybody talk about the physical. When Christ said to the prophet, he told them touch him. When they did not believe, he said touch him, for his spirit is what? Flesh is real. Now I'm talking about the flesh and the realness of him. Not what you just saying and what you saying, you know him, and I said I am him. That's me. In all these books what testify I'm only one person. See my pen? This is my business. My business say what?
It's backwards.
What did my
In
pen
God
say?
we trust.
And who?
In
Kings.
Yeah.
So if God who trusts in pens, and I said this is my business card. This is my business card. My institution is called Smith Institution, and only thing be sovereign in the name of David of the church. Smith is the institution. That's me. All institution, all buildings, all various things owned by who? Me. And I say the king. The only reason I get the king from because I'm the state of New York. I was born in Kings County, 1966. My social security is 1055. You know what 1055 say? 1055 is what? Is the day the king was living. If you read the old Judah, you read the Old Testament, what did it in the year? AD 1055, 66. Right?
So what?
That's the year. That's the year of Christ. That's the year of David. The actual year of he living and walking. So when we go here,
let's go back to getting with the Psalms that you brought out.
Right.
Because we showed how the way to be righteous is by according to Deuteronomy 6 and 26, right? 25 it says that it will be out of righteousness if you did the law, statutes, and commandments, and also. And we just went to 1 John to show if we know him, the only way to know him is by following the law, statutes, and commandments, right?
Right.
And then we also can't dismiss any of that, right? Because it also says when we see here, because Christ even tells us himself.
Hey, excuse me, sir. Who do you study under?
Who do I study under?
Yeah, that you get all this information from.
I study under no one, but God lead me to information. He make me go to the books, the library, and pull up definitions and all the characters who say they know of God.
Right.
And pull up their definition and compare and sample who they are and what do they say.
So you don't have folks you study with or no elder you sat down?
No, because everything you go up, you like this. The Freedom of Information. When I go under the Freedom of Information or the Privacy Act, I look up information for any institution, for any law library, from any institution, which you get the freedom information on the church and Revelations. And Revelations, everything absent from today. Because everybody is still, like I said, everybody predicting the Bible and going back and preaching the word of the Bible. But today is like I told them, you can't prophesy today because prophecy is over. This is the millennium. Christ is a living body. If you're not enswiping him, ready to embrace him in the flesh, then you can't embrace Christ today. Because Christ have to rule. I mean, y'all still going to prophesy.
Yeah, well, because prophecy brings, what is the word? Credibility to the Bible.
But remember this.
When you prophesy and it comes to pass, that brings credibility.
But look, it's been past. It say when he said it was done, the past been past. And you've been prophesizing into yesterday, into today. Look, into today, and not imminent, bringing nothing to results and showing the physicality of Christ. I said, right now, when did Christ was birthed? When did his age? You have to prove Christ is a living Christ, right? You have to prove he's living, not by spiritual. Spiritual is what they doing now when they preach it as Illuminati. Where everybody who get from the pulpit and say, Christ is a living God, but I'm talking for him. Right now, you can't talk for Christ today.
Well, the only way that we can talk is by his word.
But remember I said, but remember, y'all can talk about his word, but you can't talk for Christ today because Christ is a living God. Who's going to be talking today? Who's going to be testifying today? Christ's word. But testify of these testimonies. But I said, you testify of these, but today, Christ's going to testify. If Christ can testify today, then everything you've been preaching for in faith will not be correct. Why? Because as Christ told you, the prophecy was in. All the prophets done died. If all the prophecy is dead, and he is the living prophet, who are y'all waiting for? Because only one who's going to preach to you today is Christ. Because everybody else going to preach to you diversity. That's why, yes, diversity. Diversity is just like bilingual. The first diversity is the language. How was the language diversity? We would say Allah. Because I have a different language, I call God a different name.
So you're saying
I would say,
creates separation?
Yes, because everybody created. I would say I'm not a Muslim. Why I'm not a Muslim? I serve my God just like you serve a God. What is the difference between our God? Nothing.
The scripture says the difference is who's chosen.
But remember, I told you, Islamic is a native relation. Although religion is where? Is in Islam. Although religion, Christianity, Judaism, is right there.
In the Bible.
But
religion is not
hold
in
up.
the Bible.
But no, religion, because I'm not a religious person. I'm a godless man. I'm a godly man. So religion
You
is
are God. That's what you
look.
like. You're part of God.
Right,
You are
but the
part of
language,
God.
religion is a language. Bilingual. We say bilingual. It's many languages. That's right. So all bilingual is different languages. So we say different languages. So by we have a different language, we call God by a different name. So now we saying now we getting religious and we say you ain't that God. You ain't the same God. You ain't the same. Y'all all contradicting yourself when he said we are one family. We should come under an umbrella. That's what he told Muhammad. He told Muhammad that.
But that's opposite of what the Bible teaches.
But listen, the Bible don't teach you to separate yourself from no religion.
No, but it teaches us that he separated us from the other nations.
Listen, as a nation, he did not separate you from your religion. Your religion is your character of what you believe in him.
But he ain't even teaching religion. He teaching the Israelites, the blacks, Hispanic,
didn't,
natives.
listen.
Hold on, let me finish. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and those that are scattered to the four corners of the globe that fit the curse in Deuteronomy 28. He told them to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, which is in the Bible.
He told them all to keep the laws, statutes. It's in the Quran. It's in the Torah. All of them got laws and statutes. This is why, look, the Bible was so high, you could not break down the Bible. You could not break down the Bible. The Bible was 700 and something thousand pages. By the time they got wrong and break it down, calamity, sins, all those
But
things.
he didn't give. Hold on. But he didn't give this word to them other
Listen,
nations
he
that
gave
you're speaking
no,
of.
No, he gave
go to Psalms.
Listen, he didn't give that to that. He gave it to. Listen, all those nations.
149:19.
Do you know what we supposed to did? When we took a Canaan, what we supposed to do? We supposed to kill those nations, but we didn't. Then why we took on the nation wives and born those sons of those nations? That's where ignorance come from. You know what I'm saying? We took on that. We supposed to kill them out. He said kill everybody in Canaan. He said kill that and that's your land. And what we did, we took kill the men and took the wives and made out with them and they brung them who enslaved us.
That's the spoils of war, though. That's the spoils of war.
We got off the top.
The children is still the nation of Israel.
This is what I said.
We got off the top.
You're all over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wanted
hold on.
to talk
Yeah,
about.
okay.
I wanted to talk about.
But he brung that.
Hold on.
We wanted to talk about the goal, how to become righteous. That's what
But
we were
the
talking
goal-
about. That's what we were talking about
Right,
here in
but
Psalm
listen,
of David, and
listen,
then we went into
the
this other
righteousness.
stuff.
If you can't see in
righteousness-
your heart, hold on.
No, the righteousness according to the scriptures. The word.
But I said your heart. I said your heart. But your heart, the word is your heart. He said
the
thy
heart is
heart.
deceitful above all things.
But
That's
you
what
ain't-
the scriptures say.
listen, your mind.
So my heart can't be.
Hold
My
up.
heart can't be
Hold up.
thinking for me.
Hold up, but
I have to.
no.
I have to stop
Your
my
heart will
from
wait.
thinking.
How you think he gonna weigh on your brain? Think for you. Your heart have the compassion. This is why he told you.
The heart and the mind is not separate, because I could take your
No.
heart out, put it
Hold
into
up.
some,
Hold
put a
up.
different heart in you, and you still
Hold
think
up,
and feel
hold up,
the
hold
same
up.
way.
No.
Yes.
Let me tell you like
Because
this.
your heart is just
but
a
listen,
mechanism in your
listen.
body.
Let me tell you about this. My mind,
Read that.
I still would lie.
Bring
Right?
it over.
Read that. This is what it says about the heart. So we
The
can't
heart
think and
is-
feel with the heart, nothing like
Read
that.
it. Bring it over loud.
Yeah.
The heart is disappointed.
It says the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Now, hold up.
So the heart is up here. Because I could take this heart out, right? Put another heart in
Now-
it, and you're still gonna feel and think
Now,
the same
now
way.
listen, this is why he said, one thing he said, if he said the heart is deceitful, then he would not say the Lord had my heart. Now listen, when he said David had my heart, he said that for a reason.
He's talking about his mind, yeah.
Listen about the mind though, listen about the mind, because the mind's a dead character. Listen, that's why we say about the mind, because the mind's a dead character. Mind, conscience is a dead character. Why is the mind a dead character? For operation, as he said, we could go in the hospital and I could be mind dead. I could be laying up there mind dead for how many long? But only reason I'm living is because what? Admiration. What is admiration? Everything I desire in my heart will keep that complex of the body alive. But if I take my heart, my brain will even die. Listen, my heart. I said, listen, your heart
doesn't create.
No.
It's what creates is
No,
this.
the air, everything vaccinated, we do it like this, everything vaccinated in your heart, everything from air to energy come through your heart to give your oxygen, to give your brain oxygen, to bear forth a thought. Without your heart, you can't even bear forth a thought because no energy will pump into a vessel to expand what
The brain
is.
control the heart.
Listen, I told you it don't. I told you it don't. Your heart control. Listen.
Come on, everybody knows starts with the mind. Come
I'm
on.
trying to sample show you.
Say like the heart is your motor.
Your heart is the
That's
motor.
what keeps the body functioning. But
This
what
is
I'm saying is that if I take the heart out and I put a new heart in it, you're still gonna
But
think and feel the same way
listen,
because your thoughts and your emotions, everything comes from here.
Listen,
that's
your
why
thought-
that's why multimillionaires, when they preach about how to become successful, they say what you think is what you become.
Listen,
right?
listen.
And so in the
But-
same sense, what we think is what we become.
But what I think of that, like I said, when they think too much, that's why it's so much chaos. Every time they think, somebody getting killed. Every time they think, it's chaos. But only thing comforts them to understanding what is not chaos is your heart. If your heart can't bring that compassion, you will not have
But that
understanding.
goes back to your heart being the mind.
But I said, yo, this heart, because this heart, let me tell you, I said, if you can't feel it, this don't feel nothing. This will go forever.
This is what creates your
but
feeling and your
no,
thoughts.
I said,
This is
back,
everything.
I told you, this will create everything. When
Let me
your
show you-
heart tell you suffering,
Bring it up,
Let
bring it
me
up.
show you why. Let me show
Bring
you
it up.
something. Listen
Go
to
ahead,
me.
bring it up.
This is why it's important for us to constantly meditate in the scriptures because our heart absorbs what we read and become what we read, right? So when we go to Psalms 119 and 97, it says, oh how love I thy law. Oh how love I thy law. It is my meditation all the day. Now though through thy commandments has made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me. Then we go here. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Throughout. Therefore I hate every false way.
yeah, but
So,
listen, that's what we're telling you.
The only way that we could
tell you
defeat the
false.
enemy, right? That's here, is by what we're feeding into our thoughts. That's why we got to meditate in the
hold up.
scriptures, follow the law,
I
statutes,
said
and commandments to
your
become
thought,
righteous.
right? But your thought, I told you, you're giving too much power to your thought. I told you, your thought
Because
is
the mind
evasive.
is everything.
Listen, your mind is evasive. Your mind could track. Your mind could give you anger. Your mind, listen, all this come from your mind.
Exactly. Which is
I
your
said
heart.
but hold up.
Which is your
But but I said my mental heart, what is my visibility, is my accountability. When we reflect what I carry in that vessel, will open up, will give the brain a luminance to be God itself. Without this vessel of conscious, this is my conscious mind.
The conscious
mind is the
Listen, I say my heart. Listen, if you don't
heart
know
is
what,
in
and
here.
listen, I told you, a conscious mind. Why you think a mass murderer with no conscious mind will keep
your
on
heart
killing and
is your
killing?
mind.
Because he suppresses his thoughts.
Listen,
his heart.
but because this part right here, your heart. I can tell you, this heart right here is so much content.
It has
That's
nothing
why
to
he
do with how you
listen,
feel or think, bro.
Yes, it
Because I can
do.
take that heart out and I put a new one in you from a murderer, you're still going to feel and think the same
but
way.
listen, I told you, your heart, your vessel of your mind. Check out.
Let me show you, I'm going to find you the scripture right now that describes the heart for you and show you that it's the thought, it's your mind. Watch, I'm finding it
I
right
know the thought is my mind, but my thought
But
is
I'm
my
talking
mind.
about your
could be-
heart is your mind.
We're talking from like a biblical perspective. That's what we're trying to say from a biblical
Right,
perspective.
but I'm telling you, on the biblical expression, if you don't cook the conscience of your heart, how can that vessel think of anything what exposed, what God means when he says submit? Because your mind don't know to submit unless you tell it to submit. But your heart already know to submit. This is why he gave you that. This is why he told you to cross your heart until the day you die. Why you think you cross your heart? Because it is all. It is everything a sword is. You have to bring the sword. And you have to know your heart is the sword. Your tongue could be as venom as a snake. This is why he said when you speak like this too much, cut the head off of the snake. You know? That's what we do. We cut the head off the snake. Because it can't go back as a tail, but if you're talking could swear to
I got you right
lies.
here. Let me show you what the heart really is the mind. Let me show you. Let's go. This is Matthew chapter 15, and I'm going to start at 18. It says, but those things which proceed out of the mouth come from the heart, and they defile the man. Wait. Let's go to 19. For out of the heart proceedeth evil thoughts.
Yeah.
So out of the heart, which is your mind, proceedeth evil thoughts.
right.
You can't think
That's
with
right.
this. You think with this.
That's right.
Let me finish. murderers, adulterers, fornicators, thefts, false witnesses, and blasphemers. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man. Now, the reason why I brought that up is because you're saying that the heart is what does the thinking for you, all that stuff. Is this is your heart?
I said your heart is your
salvation.
but your heart is your salvation.
No.
Your mind can't be. Listen, your mind can't be
Salvation is when I control my heart, which is my mind.
See, that's your heart of your mind. Listen, when you say your heart of your mind, when we separate the characters, people don't separate the characters. But you have to separate each part, like each vessel of your body.
I understand.
Now, if you separate the character of your mind and vaccinate it with your heart, what would be your mind thoughts?
Say that one more time.
I say you vaccinate, you separate the heart from the mind, then what will be your mind thought?
This.
And what would that thought would be? Because that thought can absolutely have nothing to give a character of feelings.
Hold up, I'm gonna back up. Hold up, Salakia.
Without your heart.
Salakia, I'm gonna show you the back what he's saying, the picture of what he's saying, that your heart is your mind. Look, this is Mark 7:21-23, and it says, "For from within, out of the heart of man proceed evil thoughts."
Yeah, he just said.
Hold on, let me finish. Adulteries, fornication, murders, theft, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, and evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness.
That all comes from here.
Foolishness.
Listen. The heart of your mind. Listen, the heart of your mind.
Hold on. All these things, all these evil things come from within and defile the man. That's proving that it's coming from your mind, not your physical heart.
Right, listen, I said that's your heart. Listen, your now, when you say this part, that's true. Your mind angel. But then you have a heart.
But the heart doesn't do anything but pump blood through your body.
I tell you, it's the vaccination of will.
No, it's all in here, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because again, if listen, a murderer dies, right? His heart is good. You need a heart. I take his heart from that murderer. I put it in you. Are you gonna have thoughts of murder?
We don't know.
You're not gonna have feeling. You're not gonna have none of that.
But hold on, you don't know what feelings.
This is what creates murder. This is what creates adultery. This is what creates everything.
Psychologically, a person will. Would you say a person don't accept themselves and say once your heart get in there and saying in the deception, I am that murderer? Because that's the character of a being and saying that, and he would think that's sorry. Can I have the wheels of a murder thought?
You can. But that comes from here, not from here.
Listen, that comes from there. That comes from there. But you still thinking of that point.
But that thought doesn't come from your heart. It comes from your brain.
From the feelings attribution, without the feeling of the lithica, you would not have that conscious.
The feeling comes from here.
I told you, the feeling do come from
here.
You gotta look. Listen.
He's right, the feeling comes from the mind. Look, man.
It comes from the mind.
But y'all keep on saying, I'm saying what you're saying.
So what paradigm, hold on, Salakia. So what paradigm you get that train of thought from? You said you coming from Islam, you coming from Christianity,
Judaism.
From Judaism.
Because
what paradigm do that come from?
It comes from the Trinity.
Because wait, but them paradigms, they don't even believe in Christ.
Who? All of them believe in Christ.
But they don't believe that Christ the Son.
All of them believe in Christ.
Judaism don't even believe a Christ came yet.
Yes, it is. That's they want to believe. That's what they teach.
Man, we talk to them people, man. They don't believe that. Them fake Jews don't believe that.
Yeah, but I said, right, well, not them. We don't call them. We call the Israelites. We the Jews.
We is the Israelites. But hold on. How you come from that paradigm?